Tori again. So in this video, I'm going to discuss boundaries, and I'm going to also discuss how to get the life that you really want. And to me, I feel that everyone has an opinion, like one of my commenters said, and everybody has the right to their opinion. In the United States, they do. However, I feel that giving advice when you haven't really accomplished what you're giving advice on is ridiculous to me. So I feel that a lot of people give the advice, but they've never actually went through the process of getting the life they really want. And I'm very grateful because I have a life that's fantastic. And I didn't grow up like that. I grew up less fortunate, single mom, and my entire life, and you guys may be able to relate to me with that, is that people would always associate me being ghetto. They would call me names, and they would call me chicken head. They would call me all types of really nasty, rude things, and so I believed that I was that. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of people, they stay in those same circles, the same family members who are saying nasty stuff to them, the same family members who are talk negatively. You try to do something, they're like, why would you do that? You know, and it gets in your psyche where you start to believe this is who I am, and I will always be that. And some people, the ones that are watching this, people have probably even have said that to you. Moms, fathers, grandparents, brothers, sisters, whatever, have actually told you you are always going to be this. And that's not true. And it's a lie. And that's the thing, is that we don't realize yet we only have this life that we can, from what we know, we can only live this life one time, and one time only. And in this time that you're going to live this life, how are you going to choose to live it going forward? Because the past, although it's still in your psyche, it doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. And in the future has yet to come. And the person I am today isn't the person that I was 15 years ago. I'm completely different. And, you know, when I started to make this process, this is how I did it. And this is how I kind of made the transition, because it's really difficult to go from being around those types of people to not being around people anywhere close to that. And the first thing is you have to be alone. You have to be okay with being alone. I know a lot of people that are not okay with being alone. They don't want to cut, because those are their safety nets, you know, being around family members that are, yeah, they're nasty, but they make you feel comfortable. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Because where you're going, you're going to have to change. You have to be willing to change. The second thing is to be open to other thoughts, not being so headstrong over what you believe, because come to find out, the things that you grew up with, even though you grew up with it from the time that you were born till however old you are now, isn't really how life is. Life isn't black and white. You know, this life isn't black and white. There's so many colors in the spectrum. And so opening yourself up to other possibilities and other life, and being around different types of people and getting to know other people, you're like, I never thought of it that way. So being open to just other perspectives is another thing. So the next step is what I used to do. I had a list of things that I wanted to accomplish in my life. And I feel that we all have stuff that we want to accomplish, and then somebody tells you, oh, you can't do that. So you never started. Like, for example, I started a online bakery. It was online during COVID. And it took off. And someone told me, oh, you can't sell those, or you can't do this, you can't do that. But I just tried it, and it opened up this whole new life for me. You know, nothing can stop me now. If I want to do whatever I think of, I just start it. I do it. I see what comes from it. And that's what life is about, is just trying new things. And I think that people don't do that because they get so much negativity from their immediate you know, they'll tell somebody their thoughts on something and then they get shot down. They're like, oh yeah, you're right, it's not going to work out. But that's not true. I've done so many other things that have worked out, and it's just because I just went through the process and did it. And it was scary. Like, for example, on the apple pie thing, it was scary because I didn't know how I was going to ship it. I didn't know if I was going to make it there in time. People were ordering pies from New York, and I live in Arizona during the summer, so it's at least like 100 and something degrees outside. And so I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to package this and get this over there and not lose money. But it was something to overcome. It was an experience that I learned on my own, and it was exciting. It was something different. And I think more people have to do this. This is what living's all about. And some people, you know, this is very minor compared to what other people want to do. Like if you want to skydive, or if you want to travel, or if you want to do a blog about traveling, or whatever the case is, whatever you want to do, you just start it. And you do go one step at a time, one step at a time. And then eventually, you know, you're like, oh, I've been doing this for a while and it worked out. The next thing is, I would also look at your life expectancy. So I would Google this, because I Googled it, and the life expectancy for an African American woman in the United States is 77, and I'm 32 now, which means I have 45 years if I was to go off of what Google's telling me, not based off any freak accidents, obviously, but let's say I was going to live up to life expectancy. I have 45 birthdays left, and you can calculate how many days that is. Why would I choose to be around people who don't make me feel valued, are nasty to me? It doesn't matter what their titles are. Why would I don't argue with anybody. You know, if I do have any disagreements, it's with business, and business is different. It's separate from your personal life. But when it comes to my personal life, I'm so picky with who gets to get into my life. I meet people all the time, but people that are actually in my life every day, I'm very like a fine mesh to be able to get through, because you know, it's so, life is so precious, and you will never get that time back, ever. You go to spend time with somebody and you go have lunch, or you go have brunch. I could be spending that with my husband. I could be spending that with my child. And that time that I have with that person, I can never get back. That's something that you really should allow, like really let sit in when you're living your life. And if you're not happy, life's way too short to not be happy. You know, and be with who you want to love, be with who you want to be friends with, or, you know, and if anyone has anything to say about it, you just cut them out. You know, you don't, and this is the last thing, because I don't want to go on this long tangent, but the last thing is, you don't owe anybody an explanation as to why you moved on. Because, and the reason why is this, and there's some people that I've been friends with that felt that I owed them an explanation for why I stopped talking to them. And if I was friendly with you, I would say something really short, you know, and I'll get right to the point. I don't go into long tangents about it. You know, I stopped talking to you because I feel like this around you, and I feel like this and that. There are certain, you know, some people are not meant to be in your life for chapters upon chapters. They're just there for like a short period of time, and then they exit out, and you just have to be okay with that. And some people want explanations. There's nothing that you can say that will make them feel good about your decision. So you just have to move on. So again, I'm posting this video because I really am passionate about people living lives that they love, lives that they are, you know, just living their best life. You know, it's life's so short, and it's all about being positive and doing what you want to do, and not being associated with negativity, not believing what people say about you, because they don't know you. It doesn't matter if they knew you since a little kid. You develop, you change, and some people want you to stay the same. So I wish you guys the best. I'll see you guys on the next one.